In this video, I'll be teaching you exactly how I have made multiple high converting instant forms on Facebook for various clients over the years, and I'll be walking you through an exact client ad account where I can show you exactly how to make the form, and I'll show you a real life example that we have ran that converted really strongly at £18 per lead, which was 50% less in terms of cost per lead than the prior agency could get the company. So just a caveat before we get into it, before I start getting bashed by every man and his dog about using Facebook instant forms, it is a great way to get results, particularly if you're a new advertiser. And I'm telling you now, if you cannot get results to a Facebook instant form, you will not be able to get results to a website. So if you're a new advertiser, you're dabbling in it yourself, or it's your first time on the platform, try the instant form first, get results to that before you even think about driving them towards your website. So let's jump into it then on how to create a Facebook instant form, and a high converting one at that. So what you want to do is you want to head over to your ads manager. I'm just in one of our clients' ad accounts here just for the sake of the demo. If you go to this area, you need to go to where your campaigns are. If you don't have any campaigns set up yet, don't worry. I've got another video on how to make a basic campaign. It's titled for construction businesses, but do not worry, it applies to a lot of businesses, particularly if you're a beginner at Facebook ads, and you can go and set up a campaign by watching that. It's really simple. So first things first, like I said, go to campaigns, and what you want to do is you want to click edit on here on the campaign, and it'll take you to the next screen. So on the screen, there's a hell of a lot of options. You can see on the left hand side, this is where we need to look. So you've got the campaign level up top here, you've got the ad set level. Ignore these, we don't need them. To create an instant form, we have to go to ad level. That's where we create the instant form. So what you want to do next is you want to select your ad that you've got. So I'll select this one, ad 8. And it will take you to this screen. And it looks exactly the same, whether you've got an ad in there or not already. If you don't have an ad, go and quickly create one, and you'll be able to create an instant form like that. So what you want to do, scroll down to this section here where it says instant form. And what you want to do is you want to click create form. And then you'll be greeted at this screen where you need to give it a name. So you might want to come back and review these periodically, every single month. You might want to make changes, iterations. So you want to call it something that makes a lot of sense and something that you can remember. So this one, for example, I'm just going to call it the business's name. I'm going to say lead form, and I'm going to date it June 2025. So at least if I come back in July and update it, I can, duplicate the form and update the date, and then I can compare the results like that. So next, you can see there's a couple of form types here. Nothing to be worried about or anything like that. They're really simple. So first things first, more volume. That's just really useful when you've got an ad account. So say your ad account's got no data in it, you haven't run ads before. This is the most painless one for the customer to go through. It's the one where it will encourage most people to fill in your form. It's really good to get data, get your ads through like Meta's learning phase essentially. So that's really good. You can ask questions here, etc. But generally speaking, it tends just to ask for first name, full name, email, postcode, phone number, etc. But it's really good when, like I said, when your ad account has got no prior data. Next, a little bit of higher intent one. Essentially, it's the same as more volume again, but it just has, as you can see here on the left hand side, it has a review screen, and it can require leads to verify with the phone number. So it's a bit more stringent, and it'll get, in theory, better quality leads through these different review steps that it has in it. However, the one that I've been using, the one that I'm recommending today, is the more new one, this rich creative one. So what this is it's more of a mini website, right? It's more of a mini landing page where you can get images, dynamic creative on there, things like that to really show off your business. So I'll I'll just click on this button here, and as you can see already, you've got a few more options on this little preview on the right hand side. So I'm going to click Rich Creative, and this is the one that I'd recommend that you use if you're starting out, because you can get some really good stuff on here which can help get the best quality leads over the line. So as you can see, there's a next button down here in the bottom right. Just want to click that, and then you can give it all sorts of things. So headlines, so it could be like something like if you're running an offer, or what it is you do, or something like that. So this is a window and door company, so it could be buy 4 windows get 1 free. The classic bog off offer. Overview, you can say a bit about the company here. So you could say Energy Windows has helped more than 5,000 plus home owners with brand new windows and doors. Just a really good way to get some social proof in about your business. Could be anything like that. You take some time, think about what you put on there, but anything like this that can instill trust, instill credibility with what it is that you're trying to do, that is the best thing to do here. Again, you've got another place where you can offer benefits. This is where you can put like 10-year guarantee. Oh, spelling's not great there, but 10-year guarantee, free quote. And then again, you can reiterate the offer: buy 4 windows, get 1 free. And as you can see, it'll pull them up nicely here. So as soon as someone gets there, bang, they can see exactly what you offer, what you do, and that will help them convert. You can do other things here. You can tell people how it works. You can flick this on. I tend not to do this because it's a bit long-winded, particularly if you're new. I would just avoid that first things first. But if you want to do it, fine. You can put the products in that you offer. It comes up in these nice little boxes. This one can be good. Reviews, if you've got good solid reviews, you can put these here, but it requires you making an image. And as you can see, you can put reviews, or accredited by, or certified by, or in the news, all things that help build up that trust and credibility with your audience. You can put that in here, and they can just use this arrow, flick through them. You can have as many cards as you want here. They just keep going. You can just keep adding them. However, for the state of, if you're doing this for the first time, turn the social proof off. Don't make it too overwhelming. If you want to come back, see the results, and then you find the form's not doing that well, you can come in, add the reviews, and see what happens there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again, you can, if you've got incentives, you can add that in as well, which could be buy 4 windows get 1 free, and it come up nice and big in a nice way that people wouldn't miss it. However, you're a bit constrained by characters, so you'd have to be clever with the word in here. Generally speaking, for the first attempt and for your first time, leave that. You've got a lot of stuff here. You don't want to make it overwhelming for the customer. And importantly, what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to add an image. Okay, so this image can be your chance to put exactly what your company's about, what you do, what your offer is, etc. So, that is a very, very important place that you need to, work on and do. And I'll show you an example. I don't have his image right now, but I'll show you an example of what we did make, because it's in this ad account, and once we're finished, I can show you that. So after this, just click next, get that image up there. And now, we can look at the questions to try and qualify the leads a little bit better. You might want to test and trial this. Sometimes lots of questions work, sometimes they don't. But if you go here, you can add all sorts of categories: full name, first name, last name. Experiment with what works. I go with full name. Just gives us one less field for someone to fill in, essentially. But what I've been doing to get the high converting forms is I've actually been adding some questions to this. So here's one like, with construction, you want to know how long people have been thinking about it, and I tend to just give multiple choice answers, because when you go with the short answers, people put in any old shite. So try and make it easy, go for these multiple choice questions. This one, for example, could be, how long have you been thinking about a renovation? So you can put that in, there you go, less than 1 week, 4 weeks, 1 month. Plus, then it will give you a nice tick box for your customers to go through. Next, I'd add probably 3 questions max here. You can add all sorts, right? It could be for the context of windows and doors. How many windows do you need doing? How many doors you need doing? What it is that you're interested in? Is it wood? Is it UPVC? All things like that. You know your customers best. You know exactly what you need to find out from your customers from these forms in order for them to be a qualified person worth your time to go through and either quote them, booking a call, or booking an appointment. So after that, you can go next. You have to do a privacy policy. That's just Facebook's standard terms and conditions. And what you can do is I link them to the website and link them to the privacy policy that the website have. If you don't have a privacy policy, don't worry, you can add a custom disclaimer here, and you can title it, your business name, T and C's. And then you can add your text in here for whatever your disclaimer is, right? My advice is use ChatGPT, use Gemini, use an AI, ask it to write terms and conditions for your business, and you'll get some really good answers because they're really smart, and that's what you have to do to order to use the lead form. So after this, you could add that, just put in test for now, just so we can go through to the next stage. And then you can, give a little message for your leads. This is always good. What I do here is I say something like, thanks for your inquiry or your time. And then I tell them in here exactly what's going to happen next. So you've submitted your lead, what's going to happen next? We're going to review your application, then someone's going to give you a call, then we're going to come around to quote, and then we'll decide what happens next. And as you can see, it all comes out nicely here. And you can have an additional action at the bottom here where it says view website, call the business. What I like to do is, depends how you operate, but I'd usually prefer to call the business because you just want people to come directly to you as fast as possible. So you can change that, and it just changes the CTA. You can add your number in here, or you can add your number in and it'll come up as soon as they hit that call button. Alternatively, you might have a lead magnet. You can put a file on there or go to your website, or you might have a little promo code, whatever it is. But my advice would be to call the business, and that's where I've seen most success, particularly with this construction client. You can also connect it to your leads with Messenger. So if you want to go through a Messenger process using the lead forms, and that's how you want to answer all your leads as well, you can do that. As soon as a lead submits, it'll get an automated message from your business to them. That's quite good because it gives them another point of contact with you. It shows you've acknowledged them, and it's really good customer service. So that's something I do recommend if you have the bandwidth to do that. So next, I'd finally go create form. One moment, you've got to skip back here. So when you've clicked create form, you can go back here now where you can see there's quite a lot of forms here, and I'll just show you on what we did for our client energy windows and what it actually looked like in the end. So after you hit create form, you'll be taken back to this screen and you'll be able to get a preview of it. So I'll show you exactly what we did for our client that was converting really well at about £18 a lead, which is great for the construction business because we know anywhere between 15 and 25 quid is the sweet spot, and it's, that's what we're seeing in terms of construction based leads. So you might have to scroll down on this right hand feed to see the form once you've done it, but it should be on here. So here it is. So here's what it looks like. Here's what the main image looks like. So window and door installation experts, 25 years of experience, 20% off, free quote, 10-year guarantee. certified and 5-star rated on Google. You can get in everything about your business there so people can see it up front. You know, some images of their work, the great craftsmanship that they do have. You know, there's the headline, trusted by over 3,000 households, and here's what we've done down here. You know, Stoke's #1 rated energy efficient window and composite door fitters. You know, here's the offers and the special things about the business, and then obviously the questions that we chose. What kind of project is it? And we ended up cutting it down because we found there was too many questions. And then what we do is we take the full name, the email, the mobile, and then as part of our agency service for this one client, they come into our CRM that we set up on behalf of the customer. We'd give them a call, we'd find out more about the project, what it is, how long they're doing for it, because we found that worked better in terms of generating qualified leads. So in a nutshell, that's it. As you can see, here's one with all the privacy policy, everything that's been done, and it's fairly straightforward. So as you probably gathered, it isn't that hard to set up a Facebook instant form. It takes a few clicks, but the hard part comes down to what questions you need to ask your prospects in order for them to be qualified, and you know, what kind of images you want to display, what messaging do you want to display. All you need to do is think, what builds trust and credibility? What shows my business is unique? What offers do I have to get these people to fill in the form and contact me to book a free call, consultation, appointment, whatever it is. So that's it. You know, like I said, go back, watch this video over and over again. And you know, it's really, really simple to make quite a high converting lead form these days. So if you like this video, great. Like, subscribe. We'll be dropping more hints and tips like this in real live client ad accounts week in, week out, to make sure we can try and help you as much as possible. So thanks, and see you in the next one.